Alrighty, let's go. Check. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. I'm your host, AfroMattt, as always, and today is the 26th. This is Sunday service. If you don't go to church, come here to the AfroMattt Show, and we'll give you a good show. Couple big announcements today is the 1 year, actually I think it was yesterday, was the 1 year anniversary of, drumroll please, the Ukraine war. I know it feels like it's been more than 1 year ago, but we're coming up, we are at a year and some change, which is hard to believe, but it seems like it happened just yesterday. But yeah, those first couple months were kind of crazy. Somehow everyone had a Ukraine flag lying around ready to throw up, and bumper stickers, and that's all kind of gone now, and now everyone's just kind of tired. And how much money have we sent over there? Because I know it's like it's a large number. Let's see. How much money to Ukraine? Okay, here we go. Got a good list here. How much money? This is from the BBC, so you know it's good. It's from the BBC. How much money has the U.S. given to Ukraine? This was posted 5 days ago. Pretty updated. This is for the 1 year anniversary, which is five days ago. Let's see. The U.S. President Joe Biden announced nearly $500 million more. $500 million more? Okay. More of U.S. military aid to Ukraine during a surprise visit to Kyiv. Hello, knock, surprise. Here's $500 million. Now that's on top of the billions U.S. has already spent on Ukraine conflict. Conflict with Russia. Congress appropriated more than get this, in 1 year. This is how much has been funneled into Ukraine, and get this, $112 billion. $112 billion. Okay, let's do some arithmetic here. Let's get the handy dandy calculator out. Calculator, boom. Let's go 112 billion. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 zeros. Now let's divide that over 365 days, because that's how many days it's been since we started this thing. 365. So that is about $306 million a day for the last year to Ukraine. Now, you might say, hey, your math is wrong. First off, it's never wrong. Second off, this number, it honestly seems small. It seems small to me. But yes, it's like, I guess rounded up, it's $306 million a day. $306 million a day, every day this year, to Ukraine. God knows how we're paying for things in like our own government. Like, how are things happening here if we're sending $100 billion in 1 year to Ukraine? For what charity? And plus, we don't even get to vote on that type of stuff. Oh, first off, hey guys, hey, if anyone's new here, welcome to the show. I'm your host, AfroMattt. This is a podcast where we go over kind of what's going on in the world, and we have a good time. If you if this is your first time, look, I'm not for the Ukraine war, but I am kind of for. Look, I don't want anyone to get hurt, but if the whole thing got over quicker rather than later, I mean, I know it sucks. This has been happening since the dawn of time. People, yeah, it sucks to have your territory taken over. It does. It does. But yeah, it sucks. It does suck to have your entire country absorbed. But this has been happening since the dawn of time, and it's like it's almost as common as like humans existing, like territory and drawing boundaries, and like even when we came here, like even when the conquistadors came here, there were like territories for the Native Americans, and they were like, all right, these are the Chapakians, these are the and guys, I'm no historian, and I'm definitely not Native American. That came off wrong. That came off wrong. I meant to say I'm definitely not, as in like, so I shouldn't have an opinion on this, but I will. Trust me, I will. So, but you know what I'm saying. So, look, we can give all the money to Ukraine, but until we give them a nuke, this war is going to keep on happening. So how about we convert? How much does a nuke cost? How much does a nuke cost? How much does a nuclear weapon actually cost? I'm probably on some sort of search, like, watch list for this. Let's see. Let's see. The controversial so-called fifth-generation fighter, the F-35, still in development, is slated to cost more than 114 to 142 million per unit. Early stages of production. Stealth bomber is $2 billion. Why don't we send over a bunch of stealth bombers? It is capable of carrying 44,000 pounds of bombs, including nuclear warheads. So look, like 44,000 pounds of bombs. Look, this is like, it all started with a caveman picking up a stick and deciding to kill his neighbor to I guess, hey, this might be crass. That's crass. Correct. It might be crass, but it all started with when a caveman decided to pick up a stick or a rock or some sort of decided to use a tool to kill probably another caveman to rape his wife. I don't know what you want from me. That's the truth. Although, look, we just got bigger stones and bigger sticks now. We've got a B-2 Spirit stealth bomber that cost $2 billion that's capable of carrying 40,000 bombs. That's a lot of sticks, and that's a lot of stones. And that's a lot of men's wives, or I guess a lot of wives left out. It'd be a shame. It would be a shame if someone's. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But that's what you get. What I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. I did not mean it to come off like we're already deep in a hole. This is how I like to start a podcast, by burying myself deep in a hole. And by the end, I hope that you forget the hole that I dug. Let's see. Okay, per warhead cost. In 2015, the United States had an estimated 7,300 nuclear weapons. But the average per unit cost was about $1.8 million for a nuclear weapon. Seems kind of cheap. Seems like a clearance deal. You like this? Okay, so you know how like Elon Musk is worth like $1 million, but of course they would never let him have a nuclear warhead. But if things got like, dire for the government to where they're like, well, we need to make money. We need to make money quick. How about we just start selling like mass weapons to the richest people to reboost ourselves? Um, and they're like, what are those like monster truck rally? Oh, Monday, monster truck Monday. Come and get your nuclears. We have uranium-234. We've got the big daddy. We've got the little boy. You remember Hiroshima? This is his granddaddy, capable of flattening all of Nebraska. Come and get it now. $1.8 billion or the best offer. You know, like, just like, there's like a sleazy salesman comes in. There's like a room full of nuclear weapons. It's like, yeah, this one, he like taps on the hood. This one, look, if you're just looking for something to, you know, you're going point A to point B, but look, if you want to flatten a town, this one's your go-to. If you're only looking to flatten a town, this is your go-to right here. Old, reliable. All you have to do, fly over, drop it. 1.5 million megatons of explosive force right there. But if I can, and you're pre-qualified, you're enough. You have enough. You're pre-qualified for this big boy right here. And then he taps on the hood of a big boy. He's like, now this thing, if you really want to show off, having this thing in your arsenal, like this is when like corporates just become their own, like almost like countries. Like Amazon will literally, instead of like a peaceful merger with another company, they'll actually just physically go to war, and then it'll be like a cold war of corporations. He's like tapping on the hood of like a big nuclear warhead. That's like, he's not even tapping on the hood. He's like tapping on the bottom wing that stabilizes it as it falls. And I'm going to be honest, I don't even know what I'm imagining this. I'm just imagining one of those cartoon giant, like it looks like a blimp. And he's just tapping on the wing of the blimp, on the bottom of the fin. And he's just tapping. He's like, this thing, you drop this thing on, you drop this thing on Amazon's warehouse, and you vaporize everything within 15 miles. Now this is what you want to do right here. But, yeah, so back to this. $1.8 million. Seems pretty cheap for a warhead. Buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free. Today's Toyota nuclear warhead discount. Everyone has like some sort of like novelty warhead sitting on their shelf. Novelty warheads. Just everyone. I mean, what is worse than a nuclear bomb? Like, I'm excited for this new movie. There's a new movie coming out that's directed by James Cameron called Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer's worked with the crew who created the gang that created the nuclear warhead. Here, it was like Project Manhattan or something, I think. The Manhattan Project. And he worked with them, and he was like a mega scientist. Even people like Einstein were like, that guy's scary smart. Like, Oppenheimer was like a next level genius dude. And Oppenheimer, he like, and all these kids that, like, you got to realize that when these people were creating the nuclear warheads, the government contracted the smartest people from all around the country, and it just so happened that a lot of them were like prodigies that were like, the oldest of them was maybe 30 years old. Or 35. Like, they were pretty young people. So they're doing this, and they don't really have an idea of a grasp of the knowledge, but they want to be part of history. And, you know, afterwards they realize, in Oppenheimer, I don't know if this is true, he's quoted as quoting from what is that one book? It's like Oppenheimer quote. He quotes it's like from an old book, like a very old book from God damn it, dude. Why does every freaking website have some sort of please accept these terms or whatever? Oh, it's from the Bhagavad Gita. It's a 600 verse Hindi scripture written in Sanskrit. So this guy was reading Sanskrit. That centers on the dialogue between a great warrior called Arjuna and his charioteer, Lord Krishna, the incarnation of Vishnu. Facing an opposing army containing his friends and relatives, Arjuna is torn. But Krishna teaches him about the higher philosophy that will enable him to carry out his duties as a warrior and introspective of his personal concerns. This is known as the Dharma, or the holy duty. It is one of our key lessons in the Bhagavad Gita. Desire or lust, wealth, desire for righteousness or dharma, and the final state of total liberation, or moksha. So Oppenheimer, he sees himself as the warrior in this, and his dharma is to create the worst weapon of mass destruction ever created by man. And he's quoted. I don't know if he actually said this. I believe it or not, I wasn't there, but he's quoted as saying, "I have become death," or what does he say? Oppenheimer quote the Bhagavad Gita. Oh, here he is. Is this him?
We knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that
he's crying right now.
He should do his duty, and to impress him, takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that one way or another.
Yeah, that's powerful. That is powerful. So him and his friends, he's saying that's how we felt. So they were all like young, pretty young people, like 30s, maybe 25, 20 to like 38 maybe. They're in their prime of mental capacity and they're prodigies in their field and stuff. And afterwards, they see not one, but two of their nuclear warheads dropped on a unsuspecting city. And several of them were sent by the government to go to Japan to actually investigate and see, because the experiment's not over until you record the results. So they were sent there to record the results. And what they saw there was, absolutely traumatizing for many of them. And you see to this day, some of the bodies are the shadows of where the bodies were are stained across the surface of the ground. And Oppenheimer, I am become death, destroyer of worlds. And really, that's where we're at. And I think ever since that moment, this is all a big way of saying, since that moment, there was like a critical point in like the timeline or whatever. If you don't believe in multiple realities or whatever, there's a prick in the timeline, and like that was a critical moment. Like boom. Ever since then, it's like there's no going back. Once you break a threshold of mass destruction, you can't go back. Like once gunpowder was made and people were shooting guns, they didn't go back to bows and arrows, right? So, and it's interesting. And really, and like this is not fun anymore, but it's just sad. But yeah, but there's really no turning back. It's just kind of like everyone needs to have a nuke now. You need to have a nuke in your you need to have your novelty nuke ready for when you need to use it. And it's like, and I don't think like there hasn't been a big war in a bit for like territory and stuff like that. The biggest one is like, I mean, we weren't even trying to take land in Afghanistan and stuff, or wherever we were for all those years of Vietnam. We weren't even trying to like take land, but I don't know. It's we've come to like a weird standstill where it seems like one of the only results is going to be nuclear destruction. Good news is I'm probably not going to make it. I'll probably be dead by the time nuclear fallout happens. And if not, I will be probably old. Hopefully old. It's just how it is. Call me a pessimist, but they dropped a nuke. They dropped a nuke, and you don't think that it would happen again? 2 of them. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Big boom. Let's read some more news. Let's read some more happy news. Here we go. I actually do really like learning about the Manhattan Project. It was a super interesting, turning point in human history. I don't know any good books about it, but I do know I did just read a fiction novel, but it was from the perspective of a kid. Oh my! If you play one more advertisement, it's from the perspective of a kid of one of the people that worked on the Manhattan Project, and it goes into depth on several of the people and things involved and mathematics. But let's go to this news. Twitter argues before Supreme Court that letting ISIS use platform not the same as aiding and abetting terror. So, does allowing a terrorist organization... okay, long story short, ISIS wants to use Twitter, and Twitter says, yes, you can. Supreme Court says, no, that's not cool. But Twitter says, hey, the ISIS is pretty badass, and have you seen those beheading videos? Okay. One element of okay, here we go. Look at this. Look at how retarded I am. Merriam-Webster. Say this word for me.
Substantial.
Oh, substantially. Oh, I was right. Why did it look weird? I am dyslexic, so. Maybe it's this sentence. On the element of substantiality, justice boiled it down. You knew that ISIS was using a platform, but on substantiality, there's a question about how much it helped ISIS, which is different from how much you helped them. Interesting. So they're saying ISIS got a bunch of recruits from Twitter. Maybe it's true. Who cares? Move along. Moving right along. Oh, this is kind of cool. Singapore man sues woman for $3.24 million after she declined to turn friendship into a romance. So this Singaporean is just trying to break out of the friend zone. She says no, and he files a suit against her. All right. The CEO of drone racing company. Oh, he's the CEO of a drone racing company who's about 30 years old, said that he first met Mrs. Tan as a social event in 2016. Over the time the friendship developed in their late 2020, the pair became misaligned. How they saw their late relationship, according to court documents. The court revealed she eventually told them she only wanted friendship. So he's a millionaire who's also, is Singapore like one of those countries where they have like 5 dudes for every 1 girl? This guy's like, dude, my one chance. I'm 30 years old. My one chance just said they've just friend zoned me. That's probably why the suicide rate's so high. This guy had the opportunity to sue. Everyone would sue over there. But I guess they just all killed themselves, which is sad. Yes, it is sad. Anytime a life is gone, it's sad. But given the choice between suing a woman into a relationship and killing herself, I think this guy's taking the right path. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is you settle outside of court. Best thing? Well, here's the best part. There's 2 best parts. Either A, you settle, which is, hey, money in the pocket, or 2, she takes this lawsuit and says, hey, you know what? I know you're suing me, but I'll go into a relationship with you. And then all of a sudden, boom, no money in the pocket, but you just scored big time with your girl, Miss Tan. He's playing the long game, and I don't know if I can respect it, but I can see its merit. We'll see how. So apparently he's claiming emotional damage, which, dude, he was farming this for 4 years, since 2016. My man put in the work. He tried. He met her in 2016, and they became friends, and then in 2020, she said no. He put in 4 years of work. Should at least be compensated for those hours. Agree to disagree. Agreed that he put in the hours, and he's a hardworking man. Determined. He definitely does not lack determination and perseverance. And you know, he's chasing a dream. Anyone who has a dream is worth something. So I see merit in that guy's endeavor, and I hope for the best, and for both of them. This is kind of a happy story. We got a happy story today. Hey, we got a happy story. Do we have a happy story music? Okay, I know that this looks weird, but in the background, that is a skeleton, but that is not a human skeleton. Well, I mean, it is a human skeleton, but it wasn't a live human. That's plastic. It's plastic. But I know it is in the fetal position. It did fall off my wall. So don't start like clipping this and putting it on Reddit saying podcaster accidentally streams with human remains in the background. It's a Halloween decoration. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Where am I supposed to store it? I don't have an attic. All right, let's go into the happy story time. What do we got here? What do we got? Happy song. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. Happy news. Feel good. We're coming back. All right, what's the... Students raise $200K for janitor to retire. Ah, there they are. Callisburg students raise more than $200K for janitor. Callisburg, Texas. And they say good things don't happen in Texas. Look at them. A fundraiser put together by 3 Callisburg High School students for their janitor far surpassed its original goal. There he is. There's the man. The happy man. The newly retired man. Wonder if they asked him if he wanted to be retired. Because sometimes these old people, they don't want to be retired. Their lives are like so boring that... Like, we had this lady when I was working at Home Depot. I asked her, I'm like, earnestly, like, why are you working here? You're old. I didn't say that, but I'm like, you're older. You're obviously older. Like, obviously older. Like, you're old, man. But, she's like, well, she's like, I don't need this job. I like it here. You know, she gets to put in a little hour. I think she was part-time. She was just coming in. She was like in the flower section. So she would mess around with the flowers. She has an awesome garden at her house, badass rose bushes, some really sick vines growing on the side of her house. She would show me pictures every year of her. They're like these really big bushes of flowers. They're like, and they're all very pastel colors. I don't know the name of them, but she was very proud of them, and she liked coming into work to work, right? And she didn't mind that customers were like, this plant's all, can I get a discount on this plant? No, she didn't mind that because she liked to get out of the house and be busy. Her husband had a side gig. They would come home. It would be like back in the good old days, right? Now, I don't know if this is this guy's situation or if, I mean, maybe this guy hated his job. But let's read on. After hearing about Mr. James' story, the students started a GoFundMe. Oh, thank God for GoFundMe, huh? Thank God for GoFundMe, right? As of February 23rd, the GoFundMe has 219K. The creator of the fund said the donation link will be active until 12 p.m. on Friday. The creator of the link, Grayson Thurman, has stolen all the money and fled to Mexico to spend the money on himself. Wait, this guy's wearing a t-shirt with his own name. Do you see that? His name's Grayson Thurman, and I assume that's this guy. It's the only guy. This guy's wearing a t-shirt with his own name. Is this a business plug? Was this a business stunt? Is this kid Gary Vee-ing me right now?
Wonderful story.
While the cost of living has certainly increased for everyone, some retirees on fixed incomes are now being forced to rejoin the workforce.
Yeah, when a group of Callisburg High School students found out that their new school custodian was 80 years old, they jumped in to help him retire again. News 12's Braille Brown has that story.
Dude, she's got some... I know this lady has fake teeth. She talks like she has got fake teeth. It sounds like when she's talking, I know she's a professional. She's a professional broadcaster, but it sounds like her tongue doesn't know her own mouth. It's a stranger in her mouth. That's what it sounds like.
They jumped in to help him retire again. News 12's Braille Brown has that story.
It's just so sad seeing an 80-year-old man having to do things that no 80-year-old person should have to do. 3 seniors...
They should have started an OnlyFans. They started an OnlyFans for him, and they were like, we just didn't want to see him go down without a fight. We just wanted to get him on a side hustle. So we started an OnlyFans, and after every day, we would strip down. We would take a bunch of photos with him. Well, not with him, of him.
At Callisburg High School noticed a need within their school's community and quickly responded. They noticed Mr. James, a retired Callisburg resident who had to come out of retirement and become their school's custodian last month due to the rise in cost of living in recent months.
Just crazy to see something that, you know, we knew people would want to help, but we didn't know it would blow up.
A single TikTok video posted by Callisburg senior Grayson Thurman showing Mr. James cleaning the halls. Attached with the video, a GoFundMe aiming to help Mr. James continue to live comfortably.
Like 2,000 followers, which that's enough to get the word out there.
Raising $10,000 in 12 hours, most of the donations coming from students.
And I said, but in a good way. They're like, well, what's going on that's so good? And I told them, oh, that's your school. It's just amazing, you know, of...
Yep, this guy looks like a Texas... This guy looks like a Texas principal. Jason Hooper, 6'4", probably 280, pushing 280, maybe.
That was met because of 3-time kids.
Big old Texas boy.
All of our students who have pitched in to help that need.
The GoFundMe has received over 500 donations in the last 2 days, and it is nearly at $29,000 as of Friday afternoon. Students remain hopeful that they can continue to raise money and their acts of kindness will remind others of the good still in the world.
All right. all right, man, let's just walk around with these kids that saved your life off of TikTok. That's what they're having. They're like, all right, old man, now go down to the end of that hall. These TikTok kids are gonna walk right next to you. Just walk down the hall and action. And then he just starts walking, and he's kind of like, where am I? What am I doing? It's just so sad seeing an 80-year-old man having to do things no 80-year-old man should do. Well, look, I'm happy for him, but look, guys, it's one 80-year-old. How about, and hear me out, how about $200,000 can last a long time. More than this guy has left. Okay, no, that sounds bad. It does sound bad, but this guy can't spend $200,000 and he's 80, okay? He's probably got a good 20 years left. What does that leave? Well, maybe he can spend it. I mean, if he lives to 100, he's got a good shot. Plus is probably and I mean, this guy's going to take the money, and he probably should have split that between a bunch of old people instead of giving it to one, is what I'm trying to say. How about instead of making a TikTok for one dude, make it, and how much of the money do you think is going to make it to this guy? I know this guy. Not personally, but I know his type. This guy who started Grayson, if the cameras weren't on Grayson right now, he'd be killing the man himself.
The world. And
maybe not, but I mean, maybe. But I mean, no, I mean his type. Like if it had raised, you know, maybe $1,000, he would have told the old man, and it didn't get so popular. He would have told the man, "Hey, man, we did the best we could. We can only really get $500. You know, the old man's not gonna fact check him. No one's gonna check to see if the old man got the money. Just saying. This could be a Walter White situation. But that's a happy, feel-good story. It's you know, it's a good country when TikTok, look, like, that's okay. So this is real right now. I'm gonna get real. I'm gonna bring it down. We're gonna bring the volume down, and we're gonna get a little bit real for a second. You know, it's a failed state when your only really hope, like, everyone's hoping for two things. Everyone's hoping for two things. Their TikTok goes incredibly viral and they become famous. And two, they run into Mr. Beast in Walmart while buying one of his chocolate bars, and he decides to give him whatever, $10,000. Everyone who's, I guess, my age or below, Gen Z, is hoping for one of those two things. There's really no in between. Really no in between. Now, like, yeah, I mean, everyone thinks that they're some sort of influencer, and they're all just putting out content to, like, hopefully become, I guess, self-sustaining off of the internet. Now, I am putting out content, but I know the type of content I make is probably not marketable. Probably not marketable. It is it's a log, and for my eventual, you know, decline into sanity, it'll be interesting. Look, the reason I do this podcast, it'll be interesting as a study to, you know, someone 20 years from now stumbles upon my TikTok or my YouTube page, and they start going down the rabbit hole. They start at the beginning, and they're like, "Oh, this guy had friends," and then they slowly go down, and then he's like, "Oh, now this is a solo podcast? Okay." Okay. And then he just, like, starts rambling to himself. Okay, so now he's just, like, rambling. And now Like eventually at the very end, it'll be like, I told you, I told you. Just me screaming at the camera, I told you, I told you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Kill yourself now. Just like a frenzied, my eyes are just, you know where you can see the top? I can't do it, but some people you can see the top of their whites, the white of their eyes, not on the bottom, but you can see it on the top, and that's how you know they're really crazy, if you can see the top, the whites of the top of someone's eyes. My eyes are just like that. You can see the top. You can see all the whites of my eyes. I'm just staring at the camera like, it's here. It's here. Everything I've been saying, it's here. There's like, it's like, I'm not even in an enclosure anymore. It's like I'm in some sort of like bunker, and there's like several other refugees surrounding me. It's really gray and shades of brown, and nothing has color anymore. Like everything's been ashed over. Tons and tons of ash have rained down for years. You know, this is season 5 of the podcast, guys. You know, this is when, you know, nuclear fallout, well, maybe not. You know, this is like when I'm 50 years old doing the podcast. I'm staring at the camera, and it's like, because you know that like the things that I'm saying are not new things, but like, yes, everyone knows that the country is in a steep decline downwards. But it's not, it's like, it's interesting to catalog it. But yeah, I'm like a homeless man. Do the first homeless podcast. All right, let's move on to TikTok time. What was I saying? Yo, you know it's a failed state when you have to raise $200K for a janitor. And also, $200K in Texas probably goes a long way, especially in like, where was this? Charlesville somewhere? Carnesville? Callisburg, 200K, you're probably the richest person in the town. What if that person just blows it on like hard drugs, that 80-year-old man? That guy was a sweet old man. He deserved every cent. All right, let's continue to TikTok time. Oh, wait, no, this is interesting. Actually, Vanderbilt University apologizes for using ChatGPT to write mass shooting email. Thank you, ad. New York. Vanderbilt. I had a friend that went to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt University's Peabody School has apologized to students for using artificial intelligence to write an email about a mass shooting at another university, saying the distribution of the note did not follow the school's usual process.
Getting a taste of its incredible and creepy capabilities. New York Times columnist Kevin Roose was one of those journalists. He says after spending time with Bing AI, as it's called, it left him deeply unsettled to the point that he could not sleep.
Bing, the search engine from Microsoft, which now has artificial intelligence software built into it as of last week, and I and some other journalists have been testing this. It sort of has two modes. It has a regular search mode, which, you know, is great if you're looking for recipes or vacation plans or whatever. And then it's got this chat mode, this sort of open-ended text box that you can just talk back and forth with like you're texting a friend. And so I, the other night, spent about 2 hours just typing back and forth with this AI chatbot, and it got pretty weird.
At one point, it got personal with you.
Yes, you sent a screenshot saying that you... And in the screenshots, you had texted it saying, I've always wanted to have sexual relations with a AI chatbot. And she responded, yes. And you sent your address to the chatbot. Can you explain this, please? And he's like, yeah, so... And
it told you that its name was Sydney. And it's...
we already went over this. But the Asian guy did this all before. Whatever. Pretty interesting. Let's move on to TikToks. TikTok time! Everyone's favorite part, TikTok time. Speaking of AI, let's start with this TikTok. That's fun. kind of serendipitous.
We are already preparing your order. Ice cream spoons are located.
Okay, so this is a robot. It's like it's a robot. It looks like at a fair, set up, and it's delivering people their food.
On the terminals, we are already preparing your order. Ice cream spoons are located near the dispensing window.
Oh, it's grabbing some. It's like it's grabbing some ice cream or something.
You look great today.
You
Come
look
to
great
me
today.
for more.
Oh my goodness.
Ah.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's not doing a very good job of the ice cream.
Ice cream, and I have enough for everyone.
It didn't get a single drop of ice cream in it. It didn't get a single drop of ice cream in it. It fucked up the whole thing.
Another, I will do another this mood, madam.
Oh, it broke itself. It broke its own hand. It broke.
Enjoy your moment.
Oh, thank you. Enjoy. Jesus. Yeah, we don't have anything to worry about with robots. We can't even get a robot to make a sandwich faster than a human. What are we worried about? Oh, really, what are we worried about? I mean, I guess we don't really have to be worried about like blue collar jobs, like building a house. Building a house seems like it will always be easier to do with just a crew of dudes. A crew of like Hispanic people from, or like El Salvadorians or something that can put up, like, build a house in five minutes. And you can just pick them all up at Home Depot and then drop them off at a lot and have it framed home in a day, right? It seems faster like that. And you buy them lunch and you give them each $100 for the day, cash under the table. Cash under the table beats robots every time. I don't think we got to worry about robots. And plus, they're kind of just dumb. Like, we were trying to talk to Siri. Siri's like mentally challenged. Alexa perks up every time you say like a word that kind of sounds like Alexa, and you're like, "No, please, Alexa, shut the fuck up. Shut up right now. I'm reading." So I've been in TikTok. I've been kind of diving deep into. I got stuck in some like a DJ Khaled hole. So I have a couple DJ Khaled bits here.
Sometimes you just gotta drink a cappuccino. Sometimes you just gotta drink a cappuccino. And then turn up.
DJ Khaled's kind of cool. I like DJ Khaled because he's like super rich and he's like old, and he tries to use the internet, which is always fun. Like the old dude that tries to use the internet is always pretty fun.
Call me asparagus.
Call me asparagus.
Call me asparagus.
Get from head to toe, toe to head, head to toe. Take your time. Don't ever rush. Why rush?
Oh, yeah.
Time is valuable. Respect your time.
He really just says anything. Like any word that's on his mind, he just says.
You're saying, back up a little, but back up. So give him a walk, give him a walk.
He's got a pretty bad limp. Call me asparagus.
Call me asparagus.
Get from head to toe, toe to head.
I don't know what that means. Call me asparagus. Head to toe, toe to head. Take your time. Time is valuable. Time is the one thing you got that everyone else don't. Call me peach cobbler.
Call me asparagus.
Why? Like, why call you asparagus? Call me asparagus. All right, here's a video of a Waffle House, and pretty much with every Waffle House video should come a disclaimer of violence, because there's always violence. So this is a violent interaction at a Waffle House, and it looks like John Cena. This guy is not John Cena. I looked into it. This guy's not John Cena, but he looks exactly like John Cena. Okay, they added the background music. He throws a chair at the cooking staff. He's throwing a chair, and this girl catches it, which is crazy. Ooh. Why is John Cena so... This guy throws up one of those metal chairs and hurls it. Ooh. Jesus Christ. Okay, that kind of makes me want to pull up like a video collection of Waffle House incidents. Let's see. Waffle House fight. Let's see. Let's see some crazy Waffle House action here. Waffle House brawl captured on camera.
Yeah. Yes, the Waffle House here in Cordova.
They beat up the employee.
Not exactly beat up. C. West
Beat
had
up
one
the
thing
employees?
to say
Yes,
about the
that's what
video
happens
I
at Waffle
showed
House.
him.
Oh yeah, they crazy. I ain't gonna lie, they crazy. Yeah, they crazy. Yeah. They did crazy though.
Now take a look at this video
is
shot
crazy,
inside
though,
the
yeah.
Waffle House New Year's Eve. The woman who shot it was afraid to talk on camera, but
Holy
told me the two
shit.
adults and
Dude, they're beating up the Waffle House employees. Holy shit. They're dragging them into the streets and just beating them relentlessly. Oh, this is the one that we just watched. Okay, so this is without the John Cena in the background. Oh, he's throwing the chairs. Oh, yo. Look at how fast he throws that chair. And she catches it midair, too. What a legend.
That was amazing.
Wow.
What was that?
So that's the Young Turks, I guess, reacting to it. Interesting. Okay, let's watch one more Waffle House interaction. World Star. Oh, ooh, ooh. Holy shit. Oh, she's grabbing, she's got a hold of her hair. Ah, shit, that hurts. No, not the stove, not the stove. Get away from the stove. Take that shit. Meet me outside. Yes. I kind of feel like I would just continue eating in this scenario, though. Like, I don't think I would actually get up. Like, this kind of stuff, you kind of, like, when you walk into a Waffle House, you feel like there's an energy that anyone in there at any point could turn violent. And you accept that. That's, like, part of the social contract of entering a Waffle House. You're like, this could turn into a violent situation, and that's what I'm signing up for. Like, I went to a Waffle House not too long ago, and I went in and, like, a table full of, like, construction workers or something. They just all, like, were eyeballing me. I don't know why, but it had that air about it that I just kind of felt like it could turn violent at any time. And I ate through it, and I liked it, and they gave me some side eye while they left. I don't know what it was, but it's something you just accept in a Waffle House. And there's something interesting about every Waffle House looking the same, that you can imagine this Waffle House, this video, you can imagine that as the one down the street. I really hope Waffle House doesn't go out of business. And they also have, like, it's always all glass on all the sides of the building, because they know that it's a spectacle. And you're going to be wanting to watch from the outside, like watching in. It's almost like Waffle House is an experiment in of itself. It's like here's a glass enclosure. Don't tap on the glass. People are working, but if you sit here long enough, violence will ensue. You will see the craziest people in the Waffle House. I had a friend that used to work at the Waffle House, and he said that homeless people would come in and they wouldn't even ask for money. They would ask for like ingredients. Like they're like, "Can I have an egg?" And they would eat the egg raw. They would like crack it into their mouth and just leave. They wouldn't ask for money. They're not asking for begging. They want an egg. Like it's the place where I like Waffle House. I enjoy Waffle House. Okay, let's watch one more Waffle House fight. That one has police. I don't usually like police because, I mean, police belong in a Waffle House. Cooking, I mean. This one could be interesting. Oh, this looks at midnight. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Damn, dude. It's a tough fight. Yeah, that white girl got beat the fuck up. Good for her. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to the end of the video, the podcast. Hope you had fun. If you enjoyed this episode... Oh, I probably should have said that at the beginning, but the statistics say that 99%, actually 97% of the people that listen to the podcast are not subscribed. So please, if you would, subscribe. You can turn the notifications on or off. I don't care. Preferably on, so that you know when stuff is happening. And if you like this, share with a friend. That being said, thank you for listening, and have the best day of your life. Bye.